All right, let's get right into it. Now, on the surface, Hudbay Minerals might just seem like another copper and gold mining company, but on one particular day, they pulled off a move that was honestly just so brilliant it sent some serious shockwaves through the market, and it might have just rewritten the entire playbook for how you build a giant modern mine. So, picture this. It's August 13th, 2025. Hudbay's stock just explodes. It jumps nearly 15% in a single day. And the trading volume was insane. We're talking over 30 million shares changing hands. You know, a surge like that, it doesn't just happen by accident. Something big is going on.
And that really brings us to the core question here, right? What in the world did Hudbay do to get that kind of massive vote of confidence from Wall Street? Well, the answer has a few layers, and when you peel them back, it's nothing short of a masterclass in strategy.
Okay, so the first part of this story, the thing that lit the initial fuse, starts where a lot of these stories do, with a spectacular blow-out-the-doors earnings report.
Just look at these numbers. The analysts, the experts, they were expecting earnings of about 11 cents a share. Hudbay came in and delivered 19 cents. I mean, that is a massive 72.7% beat. For any investor, a surprise that big signals one thing loud and clear. This company knows what it's doing, and they are executing incredibly well. And it wasn't just the earnings. The whole financial picture was just rock solid. Revenue over $500 million, almost $88 million in free cash flow. And get this, their debt ratio was just 0.4 times. That's the best shape their balance sheet has been in for more than a decade. This is a company that is absolutely firing on all cylinders.
But here's the thing. A great quarter, yeah, that can get you a nice little stock bump. But a 15% surge? No way. That needs something more. The fantastic earnings, they were just the fuel for the fire. The real engine, the thing that drove this incredible reaction, was a brilliant strategic move that totally changed the game for the company's future.
And that brings us right to the heart of the story. We're talking about a massive partnership that, in one fell swoop, took a huge amount of risk off the table for Hudbay's single most important growth project. So first, let's just quickly get on the same page. What's a joint venture, or a JV? It's basically a team-up. It's where two or more companies join forces for one specific project. It's a really smart way to share the enormous costs and, the risks of a huge undertaking, but also you get to share the rewards. And this, right here, was Hudbay's Masterstroke. They announced a joint venture with none other than Mitsubishi Corporation. Yeah, one of Japan's absolute biggest trading houses. Mitsubishi put up a staggering $600 million for a 30% piece of Hudbay's crown jewel asset, the Copper World project down in Arizona. Now, this deal completely rewrites the financial story. The whole project is probably going to cost around $1.5 billion to build. But with Mitsubishi injecting that $600 million and then covering their share moving forward, Hudbay's own out-of-pocket cost plummets to just around $200 million. It is a massive, massive de-risking move.
And you have to understand, this wasn't just some stroke of luck. This was the final piece of a very deliberate multi-year strategy. Hudbay actually called it their 3P plan, and it was all designed to make a project of this insane scale not just possible, but actually prudent.
Okay, let's break it down. It's so simple and so smart. First P, permitting. Hudbay went out and secured all the necessary permits for the first phase, all on its own private land. Check. Second P, partner. They went and found an absolute top-tier partner in Mitsubishi and landed that $600 million. Check. And the third P, prudent financing. They beefed up their balance sheet and got another great financing deal done. Checkmate. And here's the really brilliant part of the structure. Just look at this timeline. The deal closes, all the big studies get finished, way before Hudbay has to write any huge checks. Look at that last date. They won't need to put in their own major capital until 2028 at the earliest. This gives them years to just stack up cash from their other mines to build up a war chest. It's genius. You can have the best strategy in the world, but it's worthless if you don't have a team that can actually execute, especially when things get tough. And this is where Hudbay really proved its chops, making them the perfect partner for a giant like Mitsubishi.
Think about this.
In the very same quarter they announced this landmark deal, the company was dealing with unprecedented wildfires near their operations in Manitoba that forced shutdowns. At the same time, they were navigating massive protest blockades in Peru. And their response? They kept all their assets safe, they supported their local communities, and incredibly, they still hit their production targets and even improved their cost guidance for the whole year.
And you can really hear it in the CEO's own words here. It's not just about the numbers. It's about a culture of resilience. It's about a team that can perform in a crisis. That kind of proven, real-world reliability, well, that's exactly what a partner like Mitsubishi is paying for. So, with the money side de-risked and their operational skills proven beyond a doubt, let's look at what this project really means for the future, not just for Hudbay, but for the entire U.S. supply chain. Copper World is a really big deal for the United States. It's a massive investment in America's own supply of critical minerals, which lines up perfectly with national security goals. We're talking about creating thousands of jobs in Arizona and becoming one of the country's largest copper producers, all at a time when we know domestic supply is more important than ever before.
And for Hudbay, this project fundamentally transforms who they are. Once Copper World is up and running, look at this, copper is going to be over 70% of their revenue. It cements a new identity for the company, a top-tier, America's-focused, pure-play copper producer.
So, if you take one thing away from this, it's this strategic shift. For years, the story around Hudbay was all about balance sheet repair. This single deal, validated by giants like Mitsubishi and Wheaton, it just completely flips that script. The company has officially and very publicly moved from repair mode into growth mode. Which really leaves us with one final thought. In an age where building huge new mines is incredibly expensive, it's incredibly risky. Hudbay's 3P strategy of securing your permits first, locking in a major partner before you spend big, and keeping your finances in order, well, it looks like an absolute stroke of genius. And it makes you wonder, have they just given everyone else the new blueprint for how it's done?